And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. This is a fantasy tabletop RPG where you can imbue your weapons and gear with magically charged ink. It is highly detailed but very easy to play. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flesh, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop RPG where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay what you want tabletop RPG where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces, sorry, of their AI god. And you will find it in their website. The links are in the description and in the pinned comment. Now let me magnify myself because today I am continuing the Dragonbane solo tutorial actual play. In the previous part, you may remember, and if you haven't seen the other parts, please check out the playlist in the description. The Mallard Knight. Remember that mallards are a bit like dog humanoids. Grodnar the Red Hood has descended using a well, and on the side, at the very bottom of the well, on the side, there was this tunnel. And now he is going through the tunnel. He actually had to leave his horse and his spear behind, his lance. He is looking for the missing piece of that powerful weapon that is in the hands of the cultists, and it can be used for vile means. And if you want to know more about the ongoing saga, please check out the other parts, definitely. As always, I am going to try to make it as clear as possible when I am playing the role of Grodnar, or when I am describing things as the game master. And so it begins. As Grodnar, I continue walking down the dark tunnel with my sword on my right hand and my torch on the left. Grodnar remembers the words of the old Wolfkin. These stifling tunnels afford little room for mistakes. Heed not the voice calling ye to refuge, for it speaks only lies. Follow the silent darkness, and into the cult's black heart you will emerge. As Grodnar continues down the path, he listens to unnerving whispers, voices of defeat, promising death and doom. As Grodnar, I steel myself against the disheartening voices. Quack! You won't trick me. I'm made of sturdier stuff. Quack quack. Grodnar needs to carry out a will check. Grodnar is successful in staving off, in fending off the disheartening spiritual or psychic attack. Quack, away with you, voices! You will not stop my journey, quack quack! As Grodnar, I continue walking down the dark tunnel, keeping my sword at the ready on my right hand, the torch on the left hand. Grodner can remember the words of the wise Wolfkin. A wide pit occupies the center of the room you will enter, surrounded by scrawled Indish symbols. Steam rises through the pit from the magma below, clouding the space in sulphurous fog. Arioch and a pair of cultist priests lay here, in the midst of some vile ritual. Seize the shard and make haste to return. Grodner can see the Dark Priest and his two acolytes tracing strange symbols in the smoke from the sulphurous clouds. Barbarous words are chanted, and dark purple sparks begin flooding the atmosphere around them. The entire environment is magically charged. As Grodnar, I put down the torch, taking advantage of the illumination provided by the ritual area. I take silent steps towards the cultists. Grodnar stumbles with a piece of the stony ground that was about to crumble. A loud echo is heard throughout the cave as the sound of Grodnar's armor reverberates as it clashes with the hilt of his sword that he clumsily bumps against. The cultists turn around, and the head cultist yells, "Tis the infidel!" I now draw initiative. As Grodnar, I charge at the nearest cultist because I am uncertain of the distance between Grodnar and the cultists. I turn to the fortune chart. The cultist is within Grodnar's reach. Quack! Time to strike early! Grodnar yells as he swings his sword. As Grodnar, I swing my sword at the cultist's neck, getting angrier with each passing second. I use the ill tempered ability. The sword bites deep, decapitating the cultist, who is unable to even make a sound. The leader of the ceremony, the dark Priest points his hand towards Grodnar and chants cacophonous words that promise damnation. Your death, Makshakunkai! Grodnar is automatically hit by a black discharge. The projectile, the etheric projectile, shoots from the hand of the cultist and slams into Grodnar. Quack, quack. Inflicting terrible damage. Dark sparks enwrap Grodnar's armor and dissipate after a second, but the damage has been made. As Grodnar, even more enraged, I charge towards the closest cultist, next to the leader. I use ill-tempered once more. And swing my sword in the direction of the enemy's collarbone. The blade once more bites deep into the enemy purse. Quack, die already! Killing the cultist in the process. Oh. The cultist goes down in a heap, blood gushing everywhere. I draw initiative once more. Grodnar takes complete advantage of the momentum. As Grodnar, I continue my charge against the head cultist and thrust with my blade at his solar plexus. For the griffin's feather! You are now skewered! But Grodnar has no anger left to spend on his fierce attack. And yet the sword still goes deep into the enemy. This should be enough! This should be enough! But not deep enough. The cultist, enraged, takes hold of Grodnar's head and unleashes a terrifying dark curse upon him. Grodnar's head feels as if it is about to explode. Grodnar falls down in a heap, his body turning to dust. The laughter of the cultist is heard throughout the cavern. Now, now everything is proceeding as planned. And this concludes this. Grodnar is dead. This concludes the adventure, but not the campaign. Because now that Grodnar is dead, the ceremony has been completed, and we can play that out with the ongoing campaign. I could add it as the ritual was completed and some greater threat is added in the next part. And of course, a new adventurer will have to take on the challenges now that Grodnar is gone. Very interesting. I think a new character, an elf. How about an elf? An elf hunter. An elf hunter. That's going to be my next character. Thank you for watching this part of the solo tutorial actual play. Well, I think I made the cult leader a bit too powerful, but it makes sense. It's supposed to be like a boss character. But now I am thinking, yes, that's the cool thing about Dragonbane. Of course, there are some adventures that are particularly tough, but you can even take a first level character, and he still has a really good chance of succeeding at the adventure. You don't have like strict challenge ratings. Of course, for example, a beginner character is not going to take on a dragon or whatnot, or at least not with without the proper tactics, right? So I can still have like a newly created character. Mm, Perhaps just to give a slight advantage, giving him like an upgrade when it comes to equipment, because this is going to be the third scenario in the campaign. Thank you for watching this actual play. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. And this has been your host, Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.